Inauguration of America's 47th president was a day jam-packed with pomp and pageantry, but in classic Donald Trump style, it didn't come without its weird and wacky moments.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President-elect of the United States.
On Trump's big day, you'd expect nothing but a spectacle. From the beginning, Trump's grand entrance was quickly overshadowed by the First Lady's choice of accessories, causing a storm online.
After this, we're going to play Who Wore It Better, me, Melania, or the Hamburglar.
Even blocking the newly sworn president from sharing the celebration.
And the wind is blowing like crazy, and with the hat that she's wearing, she almost blew away.
With the new administration in attendance, former leaders watched closely. Outgoing President Joe Biden sharing a quiet prayer, and Hillary cracking up.
Now we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Billionaire tech moguls sitting in the second row. Mark Zuckerberg had quite the view, while Elon Musk couldn't contain his excitement all day.
Yes!
He also caused some major controversy with this moment. Stars also took to the stage to help celebrate, and despite minor technical difficulties,
if you know the words, help me out here. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies.
nothing could stop the new president from getting his dancing shoes on.
There's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground.
I mean, what on earth is going on?
Good on you, Trumpy.
Oh, wow. Just wow. We are joined by podcast host and US news commentator Pete Dominic live
Must
from
have
New
enjoyed
York.
it.
Oh, Pete, it was the Trump show. What on earth?
Hello, Carl and Sarah. We have begun our descent into chaos. We're knee-deep into 21st century authoritarianism, and as evidence from what you saw yesterday, the president's speech, his behavior, and then he just pardoned a whole bunch of criminals who attacked police officers. So we are in it. We're 24 hours in, and I've got to go get my emotional support dog.
Yes, you'll need that.
Oh, cute.
So cute.
Hey?
Hello.
You've only got yourselves to blame after all. One of the most bizarre moments, Elon Musk. What did you make of that?
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, Adolf Hitler. Yes, that was a really bizarre moment. And here, a lot of people are saying that it wasn't necessarily a Sieg Heil, a Nazi salute. And I encourage all of those people to go ahead and do it themselves. Go on TV, do it in their office. And if you didn't think it was something that white supremacists love, ask neo-Nazis. And sadly, there's a lot of them here in America that identify that way as white supremacists. They loved it, Carl. They absolutely loved the shout out to Hitler, I guess.
Yeah, look, it was rather troubling, but on to more lighter matters now.
Were you troubled by it?
I was a bit troubled by it. Melania's hat, she looked very stylish yesterday, by the way. But was this hat a fashion statement, do we reckon, Pete, or a smooch blocker?
Hey.
What a flex.
Honestly, I've never seen them kiss, or she's never shown any affection. Often she'll like rip his hand away from her. There doesn't seem to be any love lost in this marriage, but I highly encourage your viewers to Google spy versus spy, because that was my favorite joke, that she looked most like that. It was very apropos too. But yeah, it's a very strange relationship if there is one at all. It seemed like she wore a hat to keep a distance from him. But I can relate, as you know.
A couple of quick ones. Your favourite moment?
There it is. That's mine.
My favorite moment was, I think, probably when I turned it off. I think it was probably when I turned it on.
Come on. There's so much fertile ground.
Oh, yeah. It's a feast for the eyes.
Yeah, I think him swinging that sword around was pretty good, because I was thinking he might hit somebody, and that would have been fine. He would have played it right off. But there were a lot of crazy moments yesterday. America is either on edge and terrified, or, you know.
Melania liked that one too. Sing along with him.
My man, there's been a lot of talk. And I think unfairly, about how tall Barron is. I don't think everyone else is short. I found some images on the internet of Barron. I don't think he's tall at all.
I don't don't know. That seems to me like it might be, that image might be Dr. Carl. I don't know. I don't think he's that big.
That's how tall he is.
He keeps growing, that young fella. Love your work, my man.
Very
Peace.
good.
Love it. Thanks
Peace
for
and
having
love.
me, guys.
Peace. Actually, well, that wasn't anything like Elon Musk either.
No, Carl!
No, it's just saying peace and love. God, everyone relax.
All right, let's move on. And Donald Trump didn't waste any time on day one of his presidency, signing a flurry of executive orders, including pardoning the Jan 6 insurrectionists who were jailed. Matt, the president called the rioters hostages, granting pardons to 1,500 of them. What message does that send to Americans and democracy more broadly?
Well, look, it's really a matter for Americans, and Americans voted on this. Ultimately, I mean, the president said that during the campaign, that he would release these people, and the people spoke. And so, look, it's a matter completely for them. There certainly has been some people seemingly imprisoned after J6 that doesn't seem particularly fair. I've seen grandmothers taken away.
Matt, they were
and what have you.
rioting though because
it doesn't seem particularly right.
Because Donald Trump told them
what
that the
about all
election was
people
rigged.
But Sarah, what about all the people rioting in Portland? What about the people that took over half of Seattle? No one was put away for that stuff, and they did much more damage, and more people died as a result of those George Floyd riots in the middle of 2020, but no one did there. So I think it's a legitimate point for the president and those in the Republican party to say, hey, hang on, isn't justice meant to be blind here? So, as I say, look, this has been decided, a line's been put under it. It was an ugly day in America's history, and hopefully they can all move on from it.
Yeah, I don't know, messing with democracy is a bit of a funny one, but he's also signed an executive order recognising only 2 genders, directing federal agencies to cease promotion of the concept of a gender transition, a movement you're in favour of, Matt?
Look, I mean, I think it's common sense that we should not allow biological males to compete against biological females. It's unfair, and it's also in many circumstances unsafe. So the thrust of what the president has signed yesterday, yeah, absolutely support. We need that common sense here in Australia. Why should our young girls have to face up against biological males on a football field, in a boxing ring? It is absolutely ridiculous. And hopefully now, yesterday is the day that wokeness will die. It has to die. It's been a cancer in Western societies, where a small, loud minority have seemingly captured the commanding heights of our social and cultural norms and come up with ridiculous things like making girls compete against blokes. It should stop. So I fully support what the president's doing here, and hopefully we have some more of that here in this country as well.
Yeah, I guess sport wasn't necessarily the direction there. It was really just about gender in general. I mean, I think, Michelle, how is gender and diversity a day one pledge? Cost of living, it's not going to impact cost of living. It's not going to impact the way people live their lives or improve their lives in America.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, look, he's definitely agitating for his base. Like, his base really voted for him, and they wanted to get rid of what they called woke ideology, which is what the Democrats seemingly stood for. I think at the end of the day, he's just doing what he's promised to do. I get that he wants to go in there and he wants to go in there strong. But at the end of the day, there is no place in politics for a lot of this stuff. And I think we really need to be careful about how we approach gender and gender fluidity. I get that there are biologically 2 sexes. That's what I believe. But also, you know, that some people do have the right to believe what they want to believe.
There are a lot more executive orders coming in the coming days as well. Michelle, Matt, thank you both so much for joining us today. Appreciate it. Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh my goodness, Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports, and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?